Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are going to be talking about Killer Book Club. So this is a film that is available to watch on Netflix. It came out last year, 2023, and I was just pretty much scrolling on there looking for something to watch, and it popped up, kind of how I normally go about watching things, and premise of it automatically looked very interesting. About a group of kids at university, college, whatever you call it, and they are currently reading a horror-based novel, and they are then picked off one by one by a killer. So of course, right up my alley, definitely my kind of style of film, slasher film. This was another one that it is a Spanish film, but I did end up watching it with the American dubbing. It kind of, I'm sure it's something with my settings where with Netflix that's just like what automatically plays, and you can always kind of tell that it's like a little off. It definitely felt like a little kind of cheesy, and so I looked and I was like, yeah, the original language is supposed to be in Spanish, but still ended up watching it this way. I don't have any problem with captions. In fact, most of the time I watch stuff with the captions on. I'd rather watch it dubbing. Anyway, even with that, and the fact that the film did feel a little cheesy kind of throughout it, it's definitely slow to start. It takes a little while till you really get anywhere. They're kind of like building up the characters for a little bit in the beginning, which is fine. Even with those kind of things that might be a little bit nitpicky with this film, I still ended up actually really enjoying it. The film doesn't focus as much on the book that they're reading. It does a little bit. It has to do with what happens somewhat, but it definitely, the events of the film are started by something else that happened. So spoiler warning, if you have not seen the film, I am going to give away some spoilers. I'm going to try not to give away too much, but the events of the film and the killing off of these students are started because the students decide to pull a prank on this literature teacher after he attempts to rape one of the girls in the group, and things go wrong and the teacher ends up dying, and that's when things kind of start. And I reviewed it on Letterboxd. I did end up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, which I still feel like is pretty good, but you know, not super high, but still I think pretty good. And I said in there that it gave me very like Scream / I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes, which if you're new to the channel, I obviously love Scream, but I also very much love I Know What You Did Last Summer as well. Definitely just like a big fan of the kind of teen, late 20s slasher genre, obviously. And the film definitely gives those vibes because, of course, not only do you have these group of people that are being killed off one by one, but they receive these notifications of someone that is writing a story about the killings. Very kind of like the letter of I Know What You Did Last Summer. The book is being published chapter by chapter as these characters are being killed off, and it's describing in which the ways that they are going to die. So they have to, try to figure out who it is. They definitely believe that it is someone within the group that, knew what happened. Definitely has to be like one of them. And we do end up, obviously, by the end of the film, finding out who did it. I don't want to, again, give away too much. I really, I don't want this to be a full spoiler review, so I'm not going to give that away. But it is, but the film does kind of try to lean in the direction of like Scream. Definitely tries to kind of imply it's the boyfriend throughout the film, but in a different fashion of Scream. It definitely like takes a different direction. When you find out who the killer is, it's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of obvious, kind of makes sense. It is a little bit kind of a cheesy, goofy reveal ending, but I still liked it. I still liked how the film proceeded and how it ended, and it does, and there are like several scenes throughout this film that do very much give me Scream vibes. Not only like the narrative of pushing the potential of the boyfriend, but there's a couple points where when characters are being killed off, they lift the mask and they see who it is, and they're like, oh, it's you. And obviously, like, we don't see it, they see who it is. Even at like the end of the film, we are met with we see our final girl and one of the other characters in a classroom again, and they're talking about sequels, very reminiscent of the scene in Scream 2 where Randy's in that class talking about sequels, but instead of for films, they're talking about books. And that's kind of like this film is like, instead of being a group of like horror film fans like they are, but it's more so horror book fans, which I thought was also like really cool, kind of cool route to go with the film. Like, I'm not a big reader, I don't really like read very often if I'm being honest, so I don't really relate to it in that sense, but I still thought but it's still really cool. And overall, I really actually very much enjoyed this film, and I definitely think that it is worth checking out. It's not a very long film. It definitely felt like it went by pretty quickly. So I think that I'll try to maybe like include a timestamp for how long the film actually is, because I don't remember, but it felt like it went by pretty quickly. So if you got some time to watch the film and you've got a Netflix account, I definitely suggest checking this one out. But if you have seen this film already, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. I hope that you did enjoy this quick little review. If you did, please give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more spooky and horror related content. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you want to see the perks of being a Patreon, links are down in the description below. I will see you all again later with another video.